with the government position, so that as we find solutions in the subsequent financial years to this glaring problem, not necessarily only for teachers, but probably for other equally low-paid cadres of government, we should be moving in our different sectors. We should not bring anything to a standstill and then say, let's first look for money, and then when money is found, then we start teaching. Because we will lose a whole generation, and we will have other children who will be transiting next year to those classrooms. So what will happen?
Because you see, the challenge we're having, Honorable Minister, is that we got where we are today because of our very own selves. We know very well that we lost over 600 billion last year in corruption and embezzlement, part of which money could have been maybe used. Now, because of the money we lost, we saw some of the donors we had who could easily fund a budget break away from us. And they left us probably alone, funding 80% of our own budget. The same commitment this government gave the teachers last year is the same commitment the President has given the teachers again for next financial year. Until when will the teachers wait for their cause?
Now, what I know is that last financial year, government made the commitment of teachers of enhancing their salaries by 15%, as it was agreed. And the teachers realized that it is true that when the proposals were made that they requested government to attend to in light of their welfare, it was not only one item. A series of them so far have been handled by government, and teachers are very happy about that. And maybe they are not mentioning it, but teachers made very good proposals which are not necessarily for their personal benefit, but to enhance the quality of education, including the science teachers' motivation. They asked government, pay us a 30% additional allowance, and that has been done. It has been budgeted for beginning last financial year, and the first batch of those science teachers started earning additional 30% of that money in June. And the teachers were saying, look, we need to focus on science and teaching and learning of sciences, because then we have children who can be innovative in order for us in the long run to fight unemployment. And that was good. The teachers also made a proposal that instead of running around in banks, and they are suffering with high interest rates, and sometimes their properties are confiscated when, for instance, they delay to pay, when the Auditor General is auditing, and sometimes they are deleted erroneously, sometimes they are punished. So when their money comes, sometimes they don't even get. So teachers said, look, why don't we have a teacher's circle? And the President said you will get 25 billion in 5 subsequent financial years. And last financial year it was not there. The teacher said, okay, we are going to wait. And we were very happy with both of us. This financial year, 5 billion is there. And for the next 4 financial years, they are going to get 555. So what we are now doing is that we are asking teachers, how do you want to receive this money for your circles? Is it at the district level? Is it at the county level? Is it at the school level? And then
But there is an issue with that money, Honorable Minister. We know the number of teachers we have in the country. If all of them say they wanted a loan from that money, it can't be enough. It won't work.
No, what I know is that a circle,
I don't think they pushed for a circle.
They pushed for it.
They were pushing for a better pay at the end of the month.
No, I have said teachers were pushing for 11 issues.
But the big issue was salary.
The first one was salary enhancement, which I have said was handled last financial year as agreed.
Which this financial year rejected.
This financial year we have decided that teachers, as you saw the budget being read, the priorities were very clear.
That's why I have an issue, Honorable Minister, because by law the President is the finance minister. And so there is no way we can say that Management can read the budget without the teachers 20% pay. So the President initially knew that it was not there. So I want us to clarify on that. The President knew the money was not in the budget, and he said it has to be read the way it was.
But what I know is that there is a budgeting process, and it takes a whole year. And it's not done by only the President. First sectors do their priorities. And one of our first priorities was that, on the increment. And then there are so many consultations that take place between sectors and other equally key stakeholders. And then the President, yes, he chairs cabinet, he debates with members of cabinet, and once a resolution is passed by cabinet that this financial year, first priority energy, second priority roads,
Azores.
third priority, education, and so on and so forth. It becomes collective responsibility. So there is no point in singling out the president as the cause of this problem.
Yeah.
It is just that it is the responsibility of all of us as government that we have decided that let's have energy so that we have rural electrification in every village, including your village. My village has not yet got electricity. And then we have roads, tarmac roads, which link Uganda to neighboring countries and link districts, which are good.
Which we do agree is good for the country. This brings me back to the situation that is causing all this we are seeing in the country right now. It seems at the beginning you are moving on the same page. When it comes to appending signatures to the majority report, you say UNATU pulls out and says we want to give our own minority report. And on the other hand, the UNATU General Secretary says they managed to look at some money, they pointed at some money in the budget. How true is that? And if so, how much was it?
I have already said that yes, in the interministerial committee we are moving very well. UNATU was in attendance in all the meetings, together with 3 ministries and departments of government. But eventually UNATU said this money for newspapers in the offices, this money for travel abroad. I have a meeting which is mandatory, and me and UNATU attend it every day in Paris, in UNESCO. Now, you delete yourself from that meeting, you are breaching the contract which government signed with the protocol of UNESCO, and government ratified it. So you cannot now say you are deleting yourself from such a meeting. There are meetings in the region here which are mandatory. There are meetings in Arusha when it is the Ministry of Education and Sports conducting business in their sectoral meeting, and currently the Ministry Uganda is chair. It is me to go and chair. You absent yourself, that meeting will not take place, and you will have inconvenienced all the other 4 countries who having gone there without that meeting, without you who is even chair. So there are rules of procedure of so many of these regional meetings and international meetings, without which, if we don't follow, then we stand to be in a disadvantage, and UNATU knows it absolutely. Now, we even when we calculated the money, like for newspapers and those, it could not come to 142 billion, which is required for the 20% salary increment. But I also was wondering, UNATU as a union, I was wondering whether if they had signed that report of ours, maybe they would be breaching. I have not studied their law, which governs the unions. So I am just thinking that it was out of their own wisdom, after studying maybe their law, that's why they did not sign. But I believe that they appreciated the processes and the procedures which we went through, and I believe that they appreciated that. Honestly, this financial year we will be pushing government so hard against the wall to find this money.
But it's Honorable Minister, the challenge we are facing today is that if it was a matter that was regarding State House, there would even be a supplementary right now being pushed for in Parliament, even as we are ourselves are funding the budget. And the language the President uses when he's referring to teachers' causes is what really is so much detrimental to the entire teaching profession. If you tell a teacher you are not a priority, forget that. If you want, go and rear goats. Really, what kind of message is that for a president?
I have really
telling
seen
teachers
people misquoting,
crying out,
misquoting the president. You have reminded me that sometime back when we were in Rwengo, we were in Raleigh, we were in the Luero Rwenzori tours of the president. And then Makerere University was up in arms, or over 100% salary increment. And His Excellency the President said that all civil servants in Uganda, including lecturers, should be able to have initiative to provide themselves with income generating activities. For instance, the rearing of goats. And you say that for Makerere University lecturers are very educated people. They can afford to explore any kind of business besides their jobs of lecturing, and they will